Urusei Yatsura is something special, not just because it's a timeless classic, and not just because it established numerous tropes. To me, it's special just because it's a really damn funny rom-com. This video is meant to give you all a broad overview of the series from a different perspective than most others around here, since I was a big part of one of the larger but less spoken about UI English fan communities, /LOM. This is going to be a multi-part series where I go over pretty much everything there is to know about the series. In this first part, we're going to cover the media landscape the series came into and see how it all unfolds, as an overview for anyone who wants to read or watch this for themselves. Now, let's set the scene. It's 1978, and space seems to be on everyone's mind. Of course, it's been this way for a few decades, but it seems like in popular media in particular, things are really heating up. Of course, the year prior, Star Wars had come out and been a massive success, but something arguably more popular was sweeping Japan, Space Invaders. While it didn't cause a 100-yen coin shortage, the game's simple presence of a laser cannon blasting waves of, well, Space Invaders made it addictive to many, and it was in this landscape that I found Rumiko Takahasi having to make a tough choice about her life's path. While she always had dreams of becoming a mangaka, and even enrolled at a famous manga school, Geikiga Sanjuku, there was no guarantee of success, and she would not easily be able to return to a job market that would rather hire someone younger for the same position. Starting out with publishing short manga stories as part of the Japan Women's University Manga Club, she eventually got the chance to publish a story in Weekly Shonen Sunday, that being Urusei Yatsura, which I won't go over now, but it's an interesting one-shot, which then gave her the opportunity to start her first ongoing series, Urusei Yatsura, beginning publication in Weekly Shonen Sunday 1978 Volume 39. Let's look at this first chapter to see how it all begins. Urusei Yatsura opens in Tomobiki, with our main man, Ataru, getting slapped across the face by his girlfriend Shinobu, apparently just looking at another woman. Talk about crazy. Already having a bad day, getting pushed over an edge by a crazed monk just makes things worse, so he decides to go home, but finds a large crowd gathered. Confused, he heads in, only to find a large Oni waiting for him. As it turns out, he's been picked randomly by the Oni alien's computer to battle for the sake of the planet, and he's pretty hesitant to the idea. However, upon learning that the battle is really just a game of tag where he has 10 days to touch the Oni's horns, and especially that his opponent is the Oni's daughter, Lam, he's more enthused to say the least. Later on, the monk, Cherry, comes to the Moroboshi household to tell his family just how unlucky he naturally is, which only upsets him even more. The next day, the game begins with the entire world watching it unfold as Ataru takes off after Lam, but learning she can fly makes things a lot more difficult for him. This repeats day after day, with everyone lamenting his performances. Shinobu tries to comfort him one night, but Cherry showing up uninvited doesn't help. However, Ataru gets a stroke of luck on the 8th day as he manages to take Lam's bra for himself, which prompts her to visit him later that night, looking for him to return it. Ataru knows he's got the upper hand, since the only reason she'd want to get it back so bad is if she had no spares, so he's able to keep a hold of it as she desperately tries to get it back. On the 9th day, Lam chooses to cover her breasts with her arms, weakening her ability to fly, but she's still able to force him off of her when he tries to get a hold of her. That night, some of Ataru's friends visit him to motivate him, but he's dejected due to the public's destructive feedback, so in a desperate attempt to restore his spirits, Shinobu promises to marry him if he can win. Now determined to win on the final day, he uses the bra to flip Lam on her back and win the game. However, Lam gets the last laugh and she misinterprets Ataru's determined cries about getting married to Shinobu to be about getting married with her, and Shinobu, thinking he really meant it, gives him the cold shoulder. Ataru now finds himself stuck with Lam constantly clinging around him the whole while, saying they're a married couple, calling him darling, while he tries to get back with Shinobu, thus setting up the status quo. For the opening of a new series, Rumiko made a pretty compelling story. I mean, you can't help but root for Ataru to beat the odds and work past not only everyone's disdain for his performances in the tag game, but also the universe's inherent misfortune towards him, as he's hit with multiple rounds of bad luck, and it's fun to see all the wacky ways this world works. If you want to read or watch a series, this is a good point to stop and get in for yourself. Just don't use the Reddit guide which tries to reorient the anime and the manga order. Makes no sense. It's better to treat the manga and anime as separate versions of the same basic formula. While the series doesn't have a huge amount of major plot points, there's subtle character growth throughout. In the next part, we're going to take a deep dive into all the main characters that make up the world of Urusei Yatsura. That should be out soon, since the script for that is mostly typed up already. This was gonna be one massive video until I realized how long it would take to make. In the meantime, thanks for watching. By the way, if you like talking about retro anime, music, or really anything else, you should stop by at ImageWord I run, wapchan.org. It's been pretty cozy so far, and new anons are always appreciated. Take care.